Yes, hello tradies. It's season 3. It's episode 30-something. I think it's 32, but it doesn't really matter because it's officially the start of trade period. We are here for the great people at St Andrew's Brewery, the new brewery at Melbourne Park, the only place to be before a game at the G, which won't be until next year now.
But there's a big event coming up.
Big game at the brewery, and that is, Mitchell, our live show, which is Thursday, October 16, which is Thursday week.
I'm told there's only a dozen or so tickets left, so get in.
Ticket prices have been very hot. Now, I know that every single person who you've ever heard plug a ticketed event would say that, but our first live show at the brewery, tickets weren't actually going hot early. They went hot,
you're just saying that?
They went hot late. So I'm not just saying that. They've gone hot early after the success of last time. So please, if you want to come, don't leave it last minute.
Tickets available on the Clubby Sports website and in the show notes wherever you're listening to this.
So it's $10 and you get a pot of beer on arrival, pot of any beer you want from St Andrews.
So you're basically making money.
You're making money. Hot start of trade period today.
Well, so for those that aren't really aware how it all works, all 18 clubs roll into Marvel Stadium for day one. They all go to their little corporate suites to kickstart official trade period.
Yes.
And each club fronts the media with a press conference. Some go for 90 seconds in the case of Richmond's Blair Hartley today. Some go for 5, 6, 7 minutes in the case of Matt Rosa from Essendon. Sam Powell from the Dogs was grilled for a fair time. You get the picture. And usually one of the highlights for me is Sam McClure going heads up with one or two list managers that he's maybe had a bit of friction with over the last couple of weeks. You were MIA today.
I wasn't there last year.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Didn't you have a Barney with Tim Lamb last year?
That was after trade period finished.
Ah, so you only come in after the fact.
I just turn up when it matters.
Where were you today?
I was otherwise engaged today.
Looks like you're in a golf kit.
Look, I was at an event that was planned a long time out.
Before the trade period?
Yes. Well before
we
the trade
know that
period.
it's always the Monday week after the grand final.
I was working today. I was in part representing tradies.
Oh.
With our own Dylan Buckley.
Well, I take that all back.
Yep, thank you.
My phone's been on.
Oh, did you not get invited?
Nah. What was this?
It was a media day today and I had to attend in a couple of my capacities. But the golf course was not close, so I got a lot of phone work done.
Right.
There and back.
So hang on.
I called you on the way back tonight.
You did?
Yep.
To plan. We had our first pre-production meeting for the show.
Ever.
In 30-odd shows.
It's taken 3 years. We had our first ever pre-production meeting.
I'm sitting there at 6:32 at my desk, 10 minutes away from going live on TV, and Sam's ringing me.
Were you in the newsroom
Yeah.
there?
I'm like,
Sorry.
Shit, what's happening? Like, have I missed a story? Is he about to drop a bomb on the age? Like, what's going on? You and you and Dill played a golf day. I'm not much of a golfer, so.
Yeah, Dill was not in my group, but yep. So I know people get bored of us talking about golf. We did a lot last year. Myself and Daniel Harford took on...
You know he's like a second or third cousin of mine?
I did not know that. Took on
It's a fun fact.
Anthony Hudson.
Link was surprised.
Myself and Daniel Harford took on Anthony Hudson and Damien Fleming.
Okay.
Flem's very handy golfer. He's single figures.
What sort of chat was there amongst that?
I've never known banter like it. And Half and I obliterated them. We won 7 and 5. Yep. So for those who don't follow golf, we were 7 holes up with 5 holes remaining.
So what do you do?
And Flem didn't take it particularly well, to be honest. I don't know if that's a 7v9 thing but it was very enjoyable day.
So what happens? You just play the last 7 with
Yeah,
no
we
pressure?
just, we tried to keep him and Hutto's spirits up for the whole day. We were ultimately trying to have fun. But Half and I sort of get quite competitive once we get out there.
So you've had, knowing you play in the golf courses are at least an hour away. So you've had 2 hours minimum in the car on the phone. What sort of trade?
4.5, 5 hours, I reckon, total today.
Oh, so is it up?
It was up at Cathedral.
I was going to say, I thought the Capital. I'm trying to think, what's the fancy course that's owned by the former Essendon chairman? Is that
David Evans' course?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
So you didn't get the chopper up like some like to?
No, I like to be a gazelle and just take my own time and think. Listen to a bit of radio.
Okay. What sort of trade information did you garner in your phone calls?
Got some good stuff tonight. And I've come with notes. You can see I've come with notes, handwritten notes. So where would you like to start?
Well, I think we should start with Zach Merrett.
Okay.
He's probably one of the biggest names of the trade period.
Yep.
It's going to be hard for Essendon to do now. You've had the president, the CEO, the coach, and today the list manager, Matt Rosa, all emphatic that Zach is on up for trade and we're not going to listen to any offers, regardless of big or small, for our captain.
Can we listen to Matt?
No, we won't. Yeah, we won't be entertaining offers for Zach. Zach will be starting pre-season with us, and his teammates will be fine with that. The club will be fine with that because we love Zach.
Yeah, heard that. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So president, CEO, coach, and list manager, all four.
Yep. In fact, it reminded me of a Simon Goodwinism from The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Fugazi.
It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
No, Fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
Right? All right.
It actually doesn't matter. Like, they have to say that. So every club has their own media mind sort of behind all of these things. Some clubs have good ones. Some clubs have not so good ones.
So what are you saying with
Essendon
this?
have a very good one in Ryan Larkin.
Yep.
Used to be that at Melbourne. Now on the executive at Essendon. Probably find himself to be CEO one day. He would have been saying, Ryan will hate me saying this, he would have been going to all of these people and saying, if you're asked about Zach Merrett, you just say that he's contracted, he's a captain, he's a club great, there's no way we'll trade him.
I felt a little difference in what Carlton's new footy boss, Chris Davies, said today. He wasn't
About
as
Charlie
emphatic around Curnow.
Yeah.
He's a required player. We expect him to be here to start next preseason. He didn't get swept up in the he's not going anywhere. It was more the expect. Charlie knows he's required. It wasn't.
Did Matt Rosa just say then, didn't he use the word, are we expecting to do it pre-season?
We're not listening to any offers. Carlton never said that around Curnow.
But there hasn't been an offer yet, so you can't listen to something that doesn't exist yet. So in the next, my understanding is by the close of business Wednesday at the latest, but possibly tomorrow, Zach Merrett via either a direct phone call to Brad Scott or Craig Bozzo or via his manager Tom Peturo will tell Essendon he's seeking a trade to Hawthorn. That will then lead to Essendon releasing some statement to media, and it'll read something like this. This afternoon, Essendon captain Zach Merrett has informed the club that he would like to seek a trade to Hawthorn. Whilst we respect Zach's openness, the club's position has been and always remains that he's not only a club captain, but he's contracted and he will not be traded under any circumstances. That's what it'll say. And you know what will happen by the end of Wednesday?
You have to be
He'll
blind.
get traded.
You have to be blind, Freddie, right now to realise that Zach Merrett doesn't want to play for Essendon, though.
I'm actually, the more this goes on, the more confident I am that it'll get done.
Okay. What does it take?
Same with Curnow.
We'll park Curnow for a minute.
We'll park Curnow.
How does Merrett get done?
I think it's this year's first, next year's first, and a player. And if I'm Essendon, I'm sitting and just waiting for Hawthorn to offer pick. I think it's pick 9 right now.
Yep. It was via cut.
Yeah. So let's say it'll be, we'll give you pick 9. You know, he's 30 and, you know, he's played best footy. And, okay, we'll come back to us when you have something serious. See you later. Hang up. And then the next one will be, we'll throw in next year's first as well, but we want something back. And so, okay, well, again, come back when you're serious. And I think Essendon will have to get to a point where they'll say, not only do we want pick 9, not only do we want your first round next year, we want Mitch Lewis and we want Cam McKenzie.
Yeah, they were the two players that I had in mind. I don't think they'd do both.
They've got to go all the way to the nth degree, and I think it's going to arrive somewhere in the middle. I think this year's pick and next year's pick have to be involved, and then I think it'll land at one player.
Yep.
Gut feel, and maybe Essendon throw a 4th round pick back or something like that.
Yep. Can you remember a club being this emphatic though? Like I've heard clubs before. No, but like all key leaders, I've heard list managers say it before. Not off the top of my head.
But again, like I didn't hear that as being extremely emphatic. If you wanted to be extremely emphatic, you just release a statement and you word it very carefully, so that we don't continue to get asked about this in press conferences or with phone calls from the press. Here is our statement.
Yeah.
Zach Merrett is our captain. Not only will he not be traded in any circumstances, we will not be answering the phone, so don't bother. This is not us leveraging to try to get the best deal. We have told Zach, we've been to his manager, we just sat him down, and we've said, we'll see you November 1 or whatever time pre-season starts. And that's it. Like, that's emphatic.
Fugazi.
Did you deliberately put on an Italian accent then? No, what's the word I'm looking for, Link? It's posturing. Plain and simple. This is posturing. I think it gets done.
I feel there's more oxygen in Curnow.
Okay, let's move on to Curnow.
Chris Davies is very equipped to handle moments like today.
Yes.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He's only been in the job at Carlton for a few weeks.
It's already been very impressive.
I feel that Sydney right now have much more scope to get this done than Geelong.
Okay.
Geelong have made a commitment to Rowan Marshall. He's requested formally a trade to Geelong.
So it's incumbent on them to get it done first.
We've been speaking. He's a third name on the whiteboard.
You talked about him 6 months ago. Yep.
The minute that Saints were in for De Koning, the minute that the Saints didn't bring Marshall along for that journey, Marshall was learning about the De Koning stuff in the media.
Yeah.
If you're really wanting to bring him on for the ride, you're sitting him down, you bring him part of the meetings with De Koning. That wasn't part of any of that. But Charlie's not going to formally, from what I understand, formally request a club. It's up to Sydney or Sydney or Geelong to present Carlton the best offer.
So you think Gold Coast are out?
Gold Coast are definitely out.
Given Petrarca?
Given Petrarca.
Right.
They're into Jamara. I don't think they can get it done, nor do they need him now. Well, everyone can do it with Charlie, but they've moved in a different direction. And with Sydney, with where they finished compared to Geelong, unless the Cats trade a top 4 or 5 player on their list, there is just no world where they get Marshall and Curnow done. I'm happy to hear it, but unless it's a top 4 or 5 player, it's not happening.
So from all the phone calls that I've made, plus all the sort of stuff that seems to be around already, there seems to be some sort of thought or some sort of assessment that if Carlton can turn Curnow into Hayward, Ainsworth, a first-round pick and another pick that makes sure that they get Cody Walker
Yep.
in the next year's draft.
Just to be clear, Carlton don't need first rounders this year in the teens because they'll get eaten up with the Harry Dean.
Correct. But they need next year,
Yeah.
potentially.
Because it's going to be a lot harder to match a bid for Walker next year.
Yep. I hear that. I don't like it. So, Ainsworth and Hayward both taken in the 2016 draft.
Both free agents last year and both signed long-term deals.
Yeah, Hayward picked 21, Ainsworth picked 4. Ainsworth turns 28 in Feb, but Hayward's just about to turn 27. 184 games and 229 goals for Hayward. 158 games and 137 goals for Ainsworth. Ainsworth's best return in a season for goals is 25. Hayward's is 41.
You're a big Hayward man.
No, I'm not.
You were last year when I was comparing him to Rowbottom.
Hayward's better than Rowbottom.
Rowbottom finished top 3 in the BNF in back-to-back years. Had quite a year this year.
Hey, Rowbottom had a bad year this year.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Hayward didn't set the world on fire this year.
He
either.
did not. I agree with that.
I'm just trying to rekindle our Hayward Rowbottom beef.
Curnow was, so he's a year older. He was taken at pick 12 in the 2015 draft. He turns 29 in February, right? So he's a year in front of him, which I get. 149 games, 313 goals. His last 4 years, he's kicked 64, 81, 57, 32. Like, Ainsworth and Hayward, for me, are two guys that would be good players in good systems. Carlton ahead of the board, not a good system. These guys, unless they fix their system, end up just becoming B-grade footballers. Like, you're giving up a generational guy who's not yet 30, who's not yet 29, that kicks goals in not great teams for two okay players.
Yeah.
Now, I get you adding the first-round picks, but I understand how there will be people that will try to convince Carlton that that's a good deal.
Do you think Carlton accept that?
I don't know. What I'm saying to you is it sounds like there are people at Carlton that are saying if Curnow leaves and we're able to turn it into Ainsworth, Hayward and 2 first-round picks,
Yeah.
there's a way in which we could sell that to our members. Now, I understand that they could think that. I'm just saying when you put it down on paper,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I would be happy with that if I was Carlton, if those guys were both 3 or 4 years younger.
I agree with
They're
that.
27, 28.
If Ainsworth and Hayward were both 25,
Yeah.
I could get around it because then you've got 8 years left of their careers to turn your forward lines into good enough systems that, you know, they've got good footy left in them. But if Ainsworth and Hayward both get to Carlton next year, they miss finals again.
They're already putting a line through Carlton for finals next year.
No, I'm just saying if they miss finals again. Wait for the air raid till we get to it. I want to talk about Carlton in the air raid.
I've actually got Carlton for my air raid.
Well, it'll be an all Carlton, all air raid. It'll be
Is
great.
this around the best and fairest comments?
Yes. Don't slam the table.
I've been spending too much time with you. We're thinking too much alike.
That's beautiful. That's actually the nicest thing you've ever said to me. I don't love that deal for Carlton. Also, elephant in the room, and I'm sorry to be the one to have to say this, but it's relevant. They can't trust whether Harry's going to get through full seasons now. Now, again, when it comes to anything to do with mental health, my first, second, third, fourth priority and is I hope he's okay. I really do. And he's been really open about his stuff. So that's for him to talk about, not me. But it would be Carlton would not be doing their job in list management and their football department if they weren't considering his viability medium to long term, as they would with any physical injury, right? Far be it for me to judge anyone that's had issues with mental health. I feel for them. I'm just saying, if Mackay was coming off a year in which he played 23 games and kicked 65 goals, I think it would be a lot easier sell to say, okay, well, we're losing Harry, but we've got a fit and firing Harry Mackay here. They don't. So I think the sell is harder. Having said all of that, if Curnow has got to a point, Mitch, where he feels the relationship has become so acidic between player and club, as I sat here and said 12 months ago about Oliver and Petrarca, it's very hard to turn that around. So Carlton have to try to put their ego aside here and say, okay, well, if we keep him because we don't like the deal, then could it come to actually bite us in the backside harder if we keep him? That's another consideration for the Blues.
Is Charlie a different character to what Melbourne encountered with Petrarca and Oliver?
Look, everyone's different. It would seem to me, I only know him a little bit, but it would seem to me that Charlie is the type of character that if he doesn't get traded, it may affect him.
Would he drag the bottom lip?
Well, I don't. That's a nasty way of saying it.
No, it's a question.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. Again, I think it's all part of the consideration for Carlton. But, and we'll save a little bit for the air raid, but tying back into all my frustrations of the last 2 years with this footy club.
Just 2 years?
No, but when you go like a busted ass for 2 years, when you've got a V8 engine under the hood and you refuse to look at the problems as to why the pistons aren't firing, this is what happens. It ends up affecting the rest of the car. Now they're going to lose, a radiator and a steering wheel and a fucking sunroof.
Well, just two more on Carlton. So another thing that pricked my interest today around the Blues was it was put to Chris Davies, the new footy boss, around Elijah Hollands, who they've asked to explore his options at another club. And the question was, if that didn't eventuate, what would next year look like for Elijah? And he wasn't able to guarantee, and fair enough, he put it all in the look ahead for future. It wouldn't shock me if this is if they'll work to some sort of agreement from what I heard today.
What an extraordinary set of circumstances. How sad.
And the other one, McGovern. So in Michael Voss's last press conference of the year, it was going into that game, everyone knew that Mitch McGovern had a game left to hit a trigger to guarantee a contract for 2026. He wasn't picked. Voss was asked about McGovern and said, yep, I love Mitch. I want him, I'm paraphrasing, but I want him at the footy club and I see him part of the future. Still hasn't been offered a contract. So clearly it's not Michael Voss calling all the shots down there, and not every coach does, but list management is having a big say on this because Mitch still yet to be without a deal.
Yep. I think Blues are in trouble. Remember when I was in Belfast and we did that pod? And I remember sitting in that little Airbnb I was in. Like, they're going to lose DeConing, Silvani, Curnow.
Curnow, maybe.
Probably. And now McGovern and Hollands.
Well, Hollands has been asked to look around.
What a basket case. What a mess.
Just to lighten the mood a bit.
Oh, good.
Can I run through my Thursday at the airport last week?
Yes, please. I did have a couple of people close to Clayton reach out and just wanted
Say
to
what?
they wanted your side of the story.
Okay.
And I said I'd provide you with a platform. And
Well,
we
here
are.
it is. This is what the podcast is for.
Here we are. So for those, just set the scene for those who have been living under a rock.
Well, I'll run through chronologically what happened. Tuesday night, I got wind that Jamara Eaglehagen was touching down on Gold Coast. Got a cameraman there. Got shots of him arriving for his meeting on the Tuesday night. This is at 10:30 before his Wednesday meeting with the Suns.
Yep.
It was put to me that Jamara wasn't flying out straight away from Gold Coast. He might spend another day there. So I thought Thursday, with Petrarca also having been in Gold Coast, I'll go to the airport for a few hours and track a few Gold Coast flights coming in. Jamara or Petrarca coming off that Gold Coast flight.
Coming back from Gold Coast to Melbourne.
Yes.
So you're at Melbourne Airport.
I'm at Melbourne Airport.
Sure.
So early in the morning, it was the day after the Suns BNF. I actually saw Sam Flanders getting off his flight. He'd been to the Suns BNF the night before. He was coming down to meet with clubs again. This is Thursday.
Sam Flanders, who, by the way, has apparently become Chris Judd in the last few weeks.
That's what trade period does.
Extraordinary.
Although this trade period's not as much because there's so many A-graders being spoken about. Well, Merrett, Curnow.
Okay, just checking. Some people misuse A-graders.
Yeah. Then
So you saw Flanders. You
saw Flanders, got an interview with him, 7 News. He was more than happy to accommodate.
Throw a sneaky 7 News in there.
Well, I wasn't there for... Who was I there for?
Certainly wasn't 9.
Wasn't tradies. Then just sitting there minding my own business, waiting for the next flight.
Minding my own business. Minding my own business while stalking A for footballers.
Not exactly stalking.
I'm kidding.
They know how it works.
Yes, they do.
Or most do. Then out of the corner of my eye, I'm on a phone call, by the way. So I had to tell the person I was on the phone to, hey, I'm going to have to let you go. I'll call you back.
I've just seen something. I gotta go back.
Clayton Oliver is walking into arrival. So Melbourne Airport, I'm at the bottom level where people come off the flight to collect their bags.
Yep.
Clayton Oliver is walking in to Melbourne Airport with his luggage, which what looks to be he's flying out.
So why is he walking into arrivals?
He didn't know where he was going.
Clary.
So he's walked into arrivals, seen me, and thought, shit, I need to be on the level above for departures. Now, put yourself in my shoes. Clayton Oliver that morning has been told to get to his manager Nick Geishan's office for a meeting with Tim Lamb, the list manager of the D's, the new coach Stephen King, and the head of footy Allan Richardson. Having been on his couch the night before in Echuca, minding his own business, waiting for a flight to Sydney the next day and then to go to the States. He gets a call, hey, you need to be at the manager's office at 10 a.m. the next morning. We need to have a meeting with you. An hour and a half later, he's walked into Melbourne Airport at 11:30, seen me. What am I going to do?
You have to film.
I have to go up and ask him the question.
Of course you do. That's your job.
I walked over to him. Before I even opened my mouth, he starts laughing. He's like, not a chance. I said, Clary.
Is the camera rolling at this stage?
No, because the cameraman was sort of, it all happened so quick. The cameraman's trying to catch up and get over there.
Right.
I said, Clary, this is the story of the day. I'm going to have to ask you a question. He goes, mate, I'll tell you to get fucked on camera.
Oh, good.
So I said, but no, don't ask me. Like, it was, hey, I'll just tell you to get fucked.
Was he laughing as he said it, or was he serious?
Yeah, laughing.
Okay.
And then I said to the camera, you can probably see the vision. You see me say to the gesture to the cameraman, come over.
Yeah.
And then something in the vision happened where the camera, because the cameraman was running up Damo from Channel 7. He'll love the mention.
Good man, Damo.
Damien Shine.
Yep. He was there
He
when
was
I
running
there.
to catch up. And I said to Clayton, is it right that you've been asked to explore your future away from the Melbourne Footy Club?
Yep.
He said what he said.
Called you to see you next Tuesday? No, that was later.
That was later.
Right.
He went up the stair. He went up the thing. I said to Damo, we're going to need some shots of him checking his bag in and stuff.
Yep.
And that's where you heard the bit later.
Right.
That's what happened.
Have you heard from him since?
No, but he did tag me in an Instagram.
I think someone sent that to me.
Yeah.
Was that him playing for
Him
Casey
in the
or something?
Casey gear.
Saying it doesn't look that bad or something?
Yeah.
Is that because he said he didn't want to play twos?
He didn't say that to me, but that was part of the meeting that you might have to play a bit
Melbourne.
of twos.
Yeah. Melbourne said you might have to play a bit of twos.
Yeah.
So,
No issue my end. He was
No
heated.
issue your end?
No.
okay.
No issue my end. He was heated.
It's not nice being called to see you next Tuesday, though.
Well, I wasn't actually there for that.
I see.
So what happened is I stayed downstairs. I said to Damo, the cameraman, head upstairs and just get a few shots because we didn't have enough vision at that stage. Like Clayton Oliver is the story of the day. We're going to need some vision of him.
Yep.
And he's not the only footballer we've filmed or won't be filmed in an airport in the next 6 months. And then an hour and a half later, I saw Bailey Humphrey.
Yeah, so take us through that.
So Thursday afternoon, he touches down in Melbourne, having been at the BNF the night before. His manager, Michael Oakes, picks him up. What I understand from there is Michael Oakes drops him at a mate's house in Brunswick. He spends the night there. The next day, Bailey Humphrey's mum is meant to be picking him up. She gets stuck at work, or so the story goes, stuck at work in Gippsland. He's then stuck in Melbourne for a few extra hours and what he was thinking. Stephen King reaches out to him. Now, this feels like a bit of a coincidence, but I'm just going with what I've been told. And they go for a walk around the Tan with King and Nathan Jones. King, who was his former line coach at the Suns, who I also understand has been contacting him pretty frequently since King was appointed at the D's.
Okay.
So all that narrative that Bailey's not going anywhere, his manager was quoted on a few platforms saying nothing's going on, feels like Bailey's been doing a bit of this behind the scenes and now it's all sort of blown up. And for those that missed it today, Craig Cameron was super emphatic. He said, I don't want to be asked about this again in the next 10 days. We will not be trading Bailey Humphrey.
Excellent. I look forward to asking Craig Cameron quite a few times the next 10 days. Do you want to use this to talk about Melbourne? Should we talk about Melbourne now?
Well, from the minute Clary was called to that meeting and asked to find a new home, essentially, and the D's via Clary's management have told clubs that they'd be willing to pay a fair chunk of the contract, I thought of you and thought, geez, Tradies is going to be good.
I'm so, so many emotions right now.
He's on a contract, what I believe to be around $1.3 to $1.4 million a season for the next 5 years. And from my...
Is this Petrarca or Oliver?
Oliver.
Yeah.
From my phone calls, I reckon Melbourne will be prepared to pay between $500,000 to $700,000 a season.
I think keep going up.
More than that.
Yeah, I think they'll pay half or more.
Well, yeah, half is $650.
Yeah, well, and I think he's on more, didn't you say, I think he's on north of 1.4.
Okay.
Clubs let egos get in the way too often with this stuff. And they had a much easier decision last year when these two guys begged to leave. And they let ego get in the way of pragmatism. The ego was well, we can't, what would the members say? We can't let these guys go because then everyone will know we fucked up so badly. We can't do that.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was they were in job protection mode. And keeping them has been a debacle. And they now have to let them both go for less. Now, Petrarca, I'll get to him in a second. It sounds like they might actually end up being able to turn it into something decent, given that Gold Coast don't really need picks.
I don't expect Melbourne to pay much of Petrarca's contract, if any.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Unless the Suns give overs when it comes to picks, which the Ds may say, give us a bit extra when it comes to the trade and we might cop a bit of the salary. But I don't think it's going to be much.
Yeah. If old Melbourne, given where Gold Coast are at and the Flanders pick coming in, I'd be hunting those top 10 picks, to be honest. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. Now, Oliver's worth a whole lot less. And this amazing rhetoric from Melbourne fans the last few days seems to be, I like that we're now taking a hard stance. This is good.
Yeah.
What were you doing 12 months ago?
I actually got a burrito on the way here.
Did you?
And the guy, beef.
Beef, yeah.
The guy serving me is a Melbourne fan and he was all for it.
Where'd you get your burrito?
Zambrero down the road.
There was a Melbourne fan working at Zambrero's.
Yes.
It wasn't on my bingo card for 2025, but here we are. And also, I know, well, it took me about 6 hours and a couple of mates to message me because obviously I didn't see it on socials. I copped a bit of flack for saying that they hit the Titanic when I obviously meant to say that they hit the iceberg. You know what, though? I'm doubling down. They did hit the Titanic. I did some more reading, Mitch. The Titanic shipwreck is 3,800 metres below surface level. It's 12,500 feet. That is how far this footy club has sunk. Not only did they hit the iceberg, fell further down, went 3,500 metres down, they hit the Titanic shipwreck. Christ! What are they doing?
Well, it's interesting because Sam Flanders is just an example, but he had the choice of St Kilda, Essendon or Melbourne.
Yeah, well,
2 years ago, you
couldn't
wouldn't even think twice. You'd be going to Melbourne over those two.
yeah, but it's not 2 years ago. It's now.
No, it's not, but that's painting the picture of where this is at.
You couldn't go to Melbourne. You just couldn't. You have to go to St Kilda if you were given the choice.
Side note, Melbourne sent a little party of people to tour Waverley last week, and they're looking at Waverley as a little stopgap before Caulfield.
Yes.
We talk about facilities.
I think that's been. Has it not been out there?
We reported that last week.
Oh, right.
Maybe that's where you saw it. 7.
No, I think I saw that a while back.
Right.
Somewhere.
Okay.
I think. Well, because weren't Richmond looking at it as well?
Looking, yeah.
Because of Punt Road?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, again, not to pour acid on Melbourne, not to pour kerosene on the fire, but like now you say, okay, Petrarca and Oliver go. Also, but Brody Mychek, who's playing like a 54-year-old, why don't you come over and we'll give you a 3-year deal?
2 years.
Sorry, 2-year deal.
With a trigger, I think.
It just like, I understand they need like a stopgap forward. I sort of get that part of it, but like, I just don't see the new direction with Melbourne.
So what you're saying with this is this should be a warning to Carlton with Curnow and other clubs holding players against their will, because on this show last year I said, well, with Melbourne's age demographic of their list, with Lever,
yeah, you should have another crack.
Gone,
Yep.
they've got players in that window to have a go.
Yep.
And now almost feels like they've got to strip the thing right back.
Yeah,
And once they do it, they've got to do it, and they are.
Yeah, which is why I thought they should have started it last year. Keeping Petrarca and Oliver hasn't been good culturally either. So there's no real win in it for Melbourne.
If Melbourne had have appointed Buckley instead of King, would Petrarca be as keen to look around?
I think Petrarca would have stayed. I think they would have gotten rid of Oliver,
Yeah.
probably. Speaking of midfielders changing clubs, I heard, because I saw it, someone texted me, Warple's going to Geelong.
Yes.
Shit.
Yep, in the hoops. I saw he was on the social medias today.
No one believed me. No one
I
believed me.
believed you.
It's funny because, how do I say this without getting in trouble?
Give up your sauce.
No, no. But a couple of times word reached me that even James was like, can you tell Sam just to fucking stop? Can you tell him to shush? And I was like, no, because I know it was done a long time.
Is he buying a house?
I don't
down
know
there?
that to be true.
Well, you've had pretty good mail on this the whole way through.
Yeah, but I don't have real estate mail like you do. Is he buying a house?
I don't know. I was told that he might have been looking.
What's Bannockburn like?
Nice.
Is it nice?
It's developing. It's
It's developing.
It's grown a lot in the last couple of years. Where he was born and bred.
Okay. So would one buy a couple of acres out there? Or?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Or sort of the
The pool.
Bailey Smith sort of
Yeah, there might be a pool.
lifestyle.
Talking about flashy things. So last week, Sam Flanders met with clubs round 2. So he met them a week or so ago.
I love when you pull the curtain back and take us inside meetings. This is my favourite.
Went back to Goldie for the BNF, then came back, as I mentioned. I saw him at the airport Thursday morning. Yep. Thursday night, he had a dinner with a St Kilda crew.
Go on. Who's that?
At a restaurant that I hadn't heard of, but I have heard of now.
What's it?
Scoppery
Oh, yes.
in Carlton.
Yes. I think that would be highly frequented by one Stephen Silvani, would be my guess.
Well, he was there.
There you go.
Just the regular booking, probably.
It would be every Tuesday night for Sauce, I would think.
Sauce, Ross, Gubby Allan, Bradley Hill, and Marcus Windhager was there.
Was my man, where's my power broker's yarn? Mr. Solomon there?
I don't know. The person that informed me might not know what Mr. Solomon looks like. He may well have been.
Mr. Bassett, was he there?
Not that I'm aware of. But
No sort of $250 bottles of Pinot?
there was a private room involved, so maybe
private room?
maybe he was just holding back. But Marcus Windhager interests me because it was only 3 weeks ago he was weighing up his future.
He was telling everyone he was going to North.
Going to North,
Yeah.
was it? I thought the D's was sort of...
No, he was telling everyone he was going to North.
Right. Well, the D's were confident too. He decides to say it's St Kilda. Now he's part of the wooing party.
Amazing. What a turn of events.
Then the next morning, Sam Flanders...
He's been busy.
He's got the Scoppery invite the night before.
Yes.
Some nice Italian in the heart of Carlton. I'm taking it's a nice restaurant.
It's beautiful. One of the better restaurants in Melbourne.
Then he's had breakfast with Stephen King and Nathan Jones. We're becoming quite the pairing when it comes to meeting players.
Where'd they take him?
At Bedgegood in East Melbourne.
At where?
Bedgegood. It's a cafe. It's about a block from the G.
East Melbourne, sort of horsey.
He meant
boy.
Essendon again, but I haven't been able to work out where that was.
Right, it was probably near the airport. Near Tulla.
Yeah.
Nathan Jones
Maybe
doesn't strike me as an East Melbourne operator.
No, he's down Mount Eliza way.
Yeah, but he just, so I feel like he'd stand out in East Melbourne.
But he made the trip up the highway. He met with Flanders and Humphrey on the same day.
So what's St Kilda's starting midfield going to be round one? Pretend you're Brad Green, but not Brad Green. You're St Kilda. And give me the round one centre bounce next year will be De Koning, Flanders. Who else in there?
Wanganeen Miller.
Wanganeen Miller is not starting halfback?
No, I think he goes mid now.
Okay. And is Steele there?
No.
Okay. Sinclair's probably halfback. So who else is in there? Windhager.
Yeah. Filippo.
Filippo. Hang on, let's do that again. De Koning, Wanganeen Miller,
Boxall.
Flanders, Boxall. Okay. Probably not. Maybe.
He'll be on a wing.
He'd be on a wing. And probably Windhager.
Yeah.
It's not an A-grade midfield, but it's winning some games.
Just going through the list. Have we forgotten anyone else?
Don't think so.
So are you questioning this Saints? From my numbers today, 5 players, it's going to cost them 4.4 mil a year.
Okay, so let me...
De Koning, Silvani, Liam Ryan, Leclerc, Sam Flanders. And Gubby said today, Graham Allan, their head of list, or talent, whatever you want to say with sauce, said that they can still go fishing for more.
Do the St Kilda war chest, the SWC is ageing pretty well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's ageing pretty well.
Oh, Jack McRae, we forgot too.
He's not the starting midfield next year. I didn't forget him. Love you, Jack. Hawthorn's best and fairest. You know I'm obsessed with the Hawks in the list build.
Yes.
So this is their top 10. Gunston, Amon, Moore, Hardwick, Ginnivan, Battle, Impey, Watson, Meek, Chol.
Yep.
Let's go through that again. So Sam Mitchell's first year at Hawthorn was 2022.
Yes.
So of the players, so Gunston would have been there Mitchell's first year, and then he went to Brisbane and came back.
He was delisted, re-rookied, and then went to Brisbane.
In fact, I reckon Sam Mitchell's first coaching game, I reckon they beat North, and I reckon Gunston kicked 3 or 4. There you go. Amon was a free agent.
Yep.
Moore and Hardwick would have both been there when he started. Ginnivan was essentially ended up being a pick in the 30s. I know there was pick swaps involved with Collingwood. Battle free agent. Impey was similar to Ginnivan. He was basically a pick in the 30s. It was a little while back.
He was in the Clarkson era.
Yeah, he was before Mitchell got there. Watson, high draft pick.
Yep.
Was a pick 5. Something like that.
Top 5, something like that. Yeah.
Meek, that deal was Meek and a future second for O'Meara and a future 4th.
Stacks up pretty well now.
Tick. And Chol was Chol and pick 62 for a future second. Tick. Now, I don't like using the Moneyball term because I think that gets thrown around a bit, right? But when you talk about a club picking the eyes out of what it needs and then not giving up huge amounts for them, that is an unbelievable top 10 of the best and fairest. Now, this is not to – I'm only using these comparisons to make my point. I'm not – actually, no, I am saying they're both shit house. Compare that to Carlton and Essendon.
Well, I was going to say Carlton. So these players are not as highly credentialed as those Hawks now, but Buku Khamis is a need. Liam Reedy comes into ruck.
I still don't know who that is.
And Campbell Chesser. But you would have been saying that about – like you wouldn't have rated Chol 2 years ago.
I always liked Chol.
You would have known who Lloyd Meek was when he was traded.
That's true.
So Liam Reedy is the Lloyd Meek of this year.
Okay. What I'm saying is compare, say, the last few years of Hawthorn and what they've done to slowly pick the eyes out of things versus the last sort of 10 years of Carlton and Essendon has been, hey, we're not very good. How should we get good? Let's just give 2 first-round picks for players. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's just throw the kitchen sink at, like, really guys that we think will be really good. You know, let's offer Zach Williams $1 million. Well, he had a pretty good year.
He was a free agent.
No, I understand that. But, like, it's TPP and picks.
Yeah.
Essendon offering 2 first-rounders for Dylan Shield.
Yeah.
Like, you can go through a lot of the different things that these clubs have done. Hawthorn, because they haven't given up heaps of capital all the way along, like they've never really overpaid someone cash-wise and they've never really given up too much pick-wise, they can now get to the point where they've made a preliminary final and Sam Mitchell can turn around and say, hey, get me Zach Merrett. I don't really care what we end up paying for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like if he's going to cost us $1 million a year and I end up having to give away a fringe player and 2 first-round picks, but it wins us a flag, I can deal with it.
But what happens when you have to start paying Watson and Day and these guys?
Well, then hopefully it ends up being like what Mitchell was part of when he was playing in that three-peat that everyone just wants to say.
Yep.
So they take a little less. Now, here's where my question without notice is to you, Mitchell. What St Kilda's doing right now is kind of out of the box again because they have been pretty mediocre or pedestrian, I think that's a fair way of putting them, for the last however many years. Yes, they made finals under Ross's first year. Where they get done by the Giants at the MCG, is that right? They have taken the road where it's, well, we've got all this cash, let's just unload, let's get everyone who wants to come here and let's make some noise. And that's what it really is. Now, this is a really important year for St Kilda because if they don't go forward, the whole thing ends up blowing up in their face.
Yes.
But
then Naz is only a year away from out of contract.
And then Naz is only exactly right. But if they make a run to, who knows, towards the top 4, and all of a sudden this looks like it's working, then the next time that they go after players, they're not going to have to pay as much capital because you get that snowball effect of, oh, I want to be on that train as well.
And look what they're doing with Sam Flanders. They're giving up, Gabby Allan said today, direct swap for pick 7.
Yep.
So they're like, we've done with the draft.
Yeah,
We've gone and got Nazaya, Mateus Filippo,
and Sam Flanders
Darcy Wilson, all these kids.
Sam Flanders is not pick 7.
Taru and Travalia.
That's outrageous. I can't believe they're giving pick 7 for him. But at least they're owning it.
Yeah. But as you say, they're all in because you'd hate to see that pick 7 become a star in future years and they've given up for Sam Flanders.
What do you think Sam Flanders is worth in a straight swap right now, pick-wise?
Pick 15?
Yeah, I had like 22.
Yeah, he's contracted.
Yeah, I understand that. I haven't seen enough to say he's worth pick 15 from me.
But comparing St Kilda to Carlton went and got Williams and, let's be honest, overpaid because that was the market, what was dictating at the time because they had the money. Look,
well, not really. I mean, they did.
Well, they did, but then
anymore.
look at what happened. You know, they were a bit of a squeeze in the years after.
Yeah. Now they're
So,
losing to Koenig.
do the Saints need Silvani and Leclerc? I would say no. I think one of those. But they've gone and got both because they can. So let's see what it looks like in 2 years' time. This, as you said, this is a massive 12 months for the Saints.
Saints really feels like an English Premier League team that have just kind of like...
And they don't have salary caps.
No, but that's why it feels like that.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Who have just been bought out by some mining conglomerate.
Yeah,
Like,
this feels like Newcastle when they got bought out by the Saudis or Chelsea under Abramovich. It was like, well, we fucking finished 5th. Let's just go and buy 6 A-grade midfielders and a striker and a right back and be a completely different team next year. That's what it feels like. But we're so not used to seeing that because clubs have to adhere to the salary cap.
Yeah.
But the Saints have had so much room for so long, they're now cashing in all their chips all at once. Plus they've got the sexiness of Ross Lyon. Like they're not a destination club yet.
But have any of those guys come for destination or because they're getting paid a good whack?
Well, that's an excellent question. And you'd have to speak to them individually.
Like, to be fair, Flanders did pick St Kilda over Melbourne and Essendon. Now, not a whole lot to compete with just there, but it is a win over those two.
Yeah, again, I mean.
TDK was too hard to ignore.
Yep.
Silvani's money was higher than he got at Collingwood and the Dogs.
Yeah, and he was out of Carlton.
They've been in Leclerc for 18 months.
Yep.
And, look, I don't know what Liam Ryan's earning, but he'll play 22 games and he'll get extra years on his contract.
By the way, just back to the Hawthorn best and fairest. I didn't say what the Gunston trade. So it was Brandon Ryan.
Who we were big on in the Tradies Awards.
No, hang on. Mitch is trying to bring me down with him here. I was not big on Brandon Ryan.
I reckon we'll go back through the audio.
Okay, let's go back. I say you were big on Brandon
We'll
Ryan.
do that in the Tradies Awards when we do it in a few weeks.
I can't believe you're trying to bring me down on Brandon Ryan.
I reckon you were big on that.
I don't reckon I'd ever heard of him.
But you would have been big on him because it was a win.
What? Was he a ruckman?
No, he's a tall forward. Is he still on their list? I think
No, he got
He got
delisted.
delisted last week.
Did he?
He got delisted.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't bring me down. I'm distancing myself.
It'll be somewhere. We'll find the audio. It was like when you said Nazaya wasn't an A-grade option this year.
Well, in fairness, he came out of
shooting
nowhere.
bullets here.
Yeah, that was nasty. that was someone on Instagram wanting to be nasty. What link looks like he wants to say something? What link?
I'm just thinking of that game Brandon Ryan played against Collingwood.
Did you kick like
He
3?
kicked 3 and Hawthorn were nowhere that year. Collingwood won the flag and they smashed them at the MCG.
Yeah.
Brandon Ryan kicked 3 goals in a game against Collingwood?
I was right in front of...
Right in front of me.
Yeah, literally. I was sitting. It was right in front of me, all those goals.
And were they in like a random jumper?
yeah, they were.
Were they in like one of their heritage jumpers?
Yeah, they were.
The shit that's in your brain that you just don't ever need again, but it just rolled it out.
Oh, time is absolutely flown by tonight.
Haven't even got to Zach Butters yet.
Okay, let's talk about him before we go.
So I wrote a story on Sunday for 7news.com.au.
You've been poo-pooing me for a long time. about this. 7 News have a website?
Yeah, it's very popular.
Is it?
Yeah.
How popular is it?
This story was very popular.
Well, how popular? I want raw numbers. Yeah, he doesn't know.
No, I do. I do know. I just don't know whether it's the right thing to drop.
Oh, that's so good.
I do know. It's just
Okay.
they're not publicly available, so I didn't think it was the
Aren't
right.
they? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I could find out
Could you?
easily. One phone call.
Okay. Do it tomorrow.
Okay. All right, I will. Go on.
That Zach Butters broached with Port Adelaide what a trade might look like with 4 weeks left in the season. Jason Cripps said that didn't happen today.
Okay. He
The
denied your story.
The Port list manager, yep.
Okay.
My understanding is Zach had a conversation.
Okay.
He's a restricted free agent next year.
That's the one you don't have to trade for.
It is the one you do have to trade for. I'm just making sure. So it's the same as Jeremy Cameron from
I understand.
5 years ago when the Giants matched the bid, forced the Cats into a trade. Port will be able to do that all over again with Zach. Even if a $2 million offer comes, Port's salary cap is good enough position right now that it will be able to match any bid. But it just speaks to how big of a story this is going to be over the next 12 months. Now, the genesis of that story was that while Zach might have asked, it's not going to happen this year because Port won't allow it to. But clubs need to get active in this year's trade period to prepare for Butters in 12 months' time because of how compromised the 2027 draft will be. So Tassie list rules finally came out since we've spoken last.
It's okay, Link. I'm breathing.
No.
I promise I won't do it.
Pick 10 in what would have been a normal draft gets pushed back to 17 in that draft. So the point of my story was if you're preparing to load up with future picks next year for Zach Butters, don't even think about it because they're going to be worth a lot less than what they would normally be.
I mean, we've just reached fucking farcical stages, haven't we? Tasmania is now going to affect the Zach Butters deal, and there might not even be a team. I give up. Seriously, like $1 billion industry. $1 billion industry.
Someone DM'd me actually during the week.
And we're
said,
giving list concessions to a club that doesn't exist yet.
Someone DM'd me said that they met Richo at a cafe who's very confident about his bet with you.
G'day, guys. Richo thinks that he knows how the independents are going to vote in December. So can I just be really clear about this? I understand people want Tasmania to happen. I want Tasmania to happen. No one knows if it's going to happen. Like, the club doesn't know. The Premier doesn't know.
I'm well aware of that.
No one knows.
By March next year, it'll be 2 years until there's teams coming in and the stadium won't even be underway.
I'm really upset.
Anyway,
so would Chris Davies have been involved in that meeting?
I would presume so.
Yeah. Interesting. Someone's going to have a throw at the stumps this trade period.
Well, yeah.
Just have to.
But Port aren't even going to listen to it.
Well, they should, though.
He's worth more now because he's under contract.
But couldn't that whole Tasmania fast stuff things up next year? Would they be better off listening to an offer now?
But what I'm saying is Port, if you come with, let's say it's the Dogs in 12
Bird in
months'
the hand's
time.
worth 2 in the bush.
That is true.
Butters in the hand is worth 2 in the
But if you're the
draft.
Dogs next year and you say, we'll give you our first rounder and our future first rounder,
Yeah.
Port aren't even going to look at the future first rounder because it could end up being pick 20 if they finish mid-table.
So what you're saying is Tassie stuffed everything up.
Not yet.
Interesting. All right, well, that's probably a good place for us to leave it. Please go to the show notes or the Clubby Sport website if you want to book tickets. So it's Thursday the 16th at the brewery. What time are we starting? Link, do we know yet?
It'll be after the news.
7:30ish.
Are you on the news that night?
Yeah.
Can't you take the night off or something? Most people watch at 9 anyway.
Oh, no, not necessarily.
Oh, I love when you say to 7 or 9 news people about the ratings. Everyone just goes, yeah, yeah, exactly. Thursday, the 16th of October. I think we've sold over 100 tickets already, so there won't be a whole lot left.
Shit, getting quick.
Carla and Tim have I think we're doing a bigger space this time. I think we might be out the front
Okay.
because it's nicer weather
Daylight savings.
and daylight savings, which rattled me again. $10 ticket price. You get a pot of beer on arrival. We'll be doing lots of giveaways. I can't wait.
I was chatting about this with Kate the other night.
Yes.
Do you feel when we were younger there was more warning around daylight savings? I was more it's like
I don't think so.
it just sort of happened this year.
Fuck, you sound old. Imagine you at 50. Kate, where's daylight savings?
The clock.
So, 50-year-old Mitch sounded a little bit like Richo. We digress.
I'll have a few slabs of beer by then.
Oh, goodness. Thanks for joining us. Get ready for the air raid. I feel like it's got a Carlton theme to it.